Alright, welcome back everybody to another Dead by Daylight video. So, it's been a couple days since the AMA, and I wanted to do a reaction to the AMA, and there's a reason I didn't, and that's kind of the bigger discussion of this entire topic. So, Otz has already made a video on it, talking about the devs' lack of ambition, which I think is a completely fair thing to say, and at some points true. And many other content creators have also expressed this sentiment. Seeing Otz not leave Dead by Daylight, I don't know why everyone thinks he's leaving it. He never said that. He just said there's certain kinds of content he's not making anymore. Mostly stuff about talking about improving the game and his win streaks. That's really the kind of stuff he said he's not making anymore. He's still making, like, resources for newer players and older players alike, tier lists, and other content such as that. So informative content, not discussion pieces or, going through the numbers of ways to try to improve the game, whether it be through perks, add-ons, etc., etc. This video isn't about Otz, though. This video is about behavior in the AMA. Now, I'm going to preface everything I'm about to say by saying I appreciate that the devs have been much more transparent and willing to talk to the community over the past year. It has been a great transition and something I wish not only they, but more game companies would do, especially live service game companies. With that being said, this is the second AMA. Hell, you know what? I won't even say that. This is the same thing as every AMA we ever get. We didn't get any answers, and the ones we did get were either disappointing or said they would take forever to actually implement things. I think a good example is the showing perks in the lobby. The devs basically said it would take years to do, which is insane. I'm not going to sit here and say programming is easy, and I know how to do it. I'm not going to say that at all. However, I am knowledgeable enough to know that it shouldn't take years to implement something into a lobby like that. Unless your coding is that bad, and I'm going to give behavior the benefit of the doubt and say that it's not that bad as much as people like to shit on their coding. The spaghetti code of the game is probably super insane to work around, but the idea of putting in some PNGs into a lobby just seems like a Herculean task to them, apparently. And I know this video is probably going to make it so I don't even ever get into the Fog Whisperer program, but I think the bigger question here with these AMAs, what is the point other than, quote, community morale or making the community think that they care? And I'm not going to say the devs don't care because, obviously they do, but every time we ask questions about things during the AMAs or any other time of year, we always get these vague non-answers or the traditional PR speak of, we understand your frustration. We are currently working on a fix for this issue, and we'll have more updates later to come. Like, okay, that doesn't help us. That doesn't get us hyped. That doesn't, there is a difference between listening to someone and hearing somebody, right? And this is a communication thing. And behavior is, they're hearing us. We know they're hearing us, but they're not listening to us. And the big difference is the way the responses are. And I understand the issue is they don't want to say something that they can't follow up on. However, and I'm going to say this for a lot of game companies, I get why you guys don't want to do false promises. I understand it completely. However, here is the thing. 9 times out of 10, I would rather you tell me something you're going to do. Tell me you can't do it. And as long as you give me a valid reason as to why, it's fine. We will be okay. There was an attempt made, and if the reason is justifiable, even if it's a stupid reason, like, oh, we didn't have the resources, or, that's not a stupid reason, but, there's not enough time, or the coding won't allow it, which, for example, one of the questions that they did answer well, in my opinion, was the free cam one. They said that, or not the free cam, match replays. They talked about match replays, and they said because of the way the game was designed, it would have to be rebuilt from the ground up to implement such a feature. That's a fine answer. Thank you. And it's true. A game has to be designed from the ground up with match replay because the way it works isn't just like capturing the game in like a file. It has to capture like it basically takes the inputs that were put into the game and then takes those inputs and redoes them automatically again. Whatever. The point is they can't do it, and that's fine. That's a fine answer, and I'm okay with that answer. But something like cross progression, right? They talked about this. I think it was like 3 years ago now. We still haven't heard anything about it. We still haven't heard a single word about it. So everyone's assuming it's not happening. For all we know, it is still happening. But they refuse to say anything about it. Now, here's the thing. If it's not happening, that's fine. And if the reason it's not happening is because, legal issues or some platforms don't want to work with us, fine. Just tell us that, and we'll understand. That is the thing I don't get why behavior in other game devs, I'm going to keep saying it's because it's not just a behavior problem, but why they don't understand this point. We don't care if you guys tell us you're going to do something and don't do it. What we care about is when you tell us you're going to do something, don't do it, but don't tell us either why or that you're not going to do it anymore. That's the frustrating bit. It's that and just not saying anything. What is the point of these AMAs? What is the point? You know the community is going to come in with some answers or questions that apparently you guys aren't prepared to answer or aren't allowed to answer. What was another point was the idea of people unhooking themselves or giving more information during the game. They said they don't want to give more information during the game because they think that people who play with friends are just inherently going to work together versus people who are solo queuing and information doesn't make a difference there. Okay, fine. That didn't really answer the question though, because the information probably won't make everyone instantly be super altruistic, but it will at least give them an idea of what they can and can't do. You know how game-changing it is to know a teammate has Unbreakable, or Deliverance, or is running a gen build, or a locker build, or has head-on in a loop? Once again, I don't get the point of these the behavior asking the community for feedback and questions if they're not going to do anything with these things. Remember the Unbreakable Mori change they did last year? We still don't know what's going on with that. They said the testing basically proved that it wasn't useful. Okay, so go back to the drawing board and try something else. We did nothing. We haven't heard anything. Even with some, and it's not even just stuff that's happening in like, within like 2 years or something. It's things that are happening soon. Like the Save the Best for Last change. Someone asked a question about it. They basically said nothing. They said they couldn't say anything. Why? You can't even give us a teaser or a hint at what you're doing? Same with the solution to 3-genning. All we got was a vague answer that says something about kicking. And that's fine, in my opinion, actually. I think that one was okay. Because there's at least a kernel there for us to, like, speculate on. That's fine. We're not asking you to tell us exactly what you're doing. We just want a general idea so we can be prepared. I don't know. And then a lot of the questions that did get good answers or straight up answered were, questions about cosmetics, which, I'm not going to be the guy who's like, I don't care about cosmetics, because I do. I think cosmetics are an important part of this and many other games. But I think behavior only talking about those things and only having solid answers for those specific things is just, it's a bad sign. Like, what is the point of these things? I don't understand. It's not publicity. Because the only people who care about the AMA are going to be diehard fans. It's not for newer players. It's not for, like, Kotaku or, like, things like that. Like, what is the point of these AMAs other than showing some false sense of we are listening to the community? I don't know. I hope behavior, because this is the second one they've had this year. And the last one and the one before that and the one before that, it's basically the same thing every time. We ask a question, we get a vague answer, or more likely we get an answer, we're aware of this issue and we're going to work on a solution later. We'll keep you updated. And that's it. And I don't know. It's just getting really frustrating at this point. I'm still going to do commentary videos, obviously, and discussion topics, because I like doing it, and I think it's fun, regardless if anything changes. I've said it many times that I don't think anything I'm going to say on this YouTube channel, or anything I say on stream, or anything I say anywhere else is ever going to get anything changed. They're just fun things to talk about. And I don't know. Also, my phone just went off. That's hilarious. Yeah, I don't know. Tell me what you guys think about the AMA. I'm very disappointed, and yeah, love you guys. And, bye.